Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Capital Compass, preparing for capital through readiness. My name is Tosh Brooks, and I'm the program coordinator for U.S. Small and Medium-Sized Business Entrepreneurial Programs at the NASDAQ Entrepreneurial Center. For those of you who may not know, the NASDAQ Center is a nonprofit improving access and knowledge in entrepreneurship to advance economic progress for all. As you'll see in the chat in just a moment, the NASDAQ Center provides programs, resources, and exceptional mentorship to help entrepreneurs fuel prosperity, no matter where their journey begins. Be sure to check out the links and resources shared in the chat. I'm going to launch a few polls to step back and take a temperature gauge on how all of you are doing today. We will use this information to guide the programs we provide for this global community of entrepreneurs. If there are specific topics or challenges you'd like us to create resources for, feel free to share them in the chat. Just a couple of quick housekeeping notes before we get started. First, let us know where you're dialing in from by dropping it in the chat today. We'd love to see where everyone's joining us from. Second, we'll have a live Q&A at the end of the event, so feel free to submit your questions at any time using the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. We'll do our best to get to as many as we can. While you're answering, I'd like to take a moment to recognize the incredible support of our corporate partners. The work we do at the center wouldn't be possible without the generosity and belief of our partners and funders, including NASDAQ, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan Chase, KPMG, Walmart, the Asia Innovation Hub, Wilson Sonsini, the Narit Foundation, KKR, and BPM. We're deeply grateful for their partnership, and we hope you'll join us in sharing that appreciation. So, let's look at our polls. The first poll was, how are you feeling? All right, and we had 93% of business owners on this call are feeling optimistic today. And then our second poll, what's keeping you up at night? Was it finance, sales, marketing, scale, pivot, team, or surviving? And on our call, we have around 31% of business owners are worried about finance, 21% sales, and 21% marketing. So without ado, I would like to introduce our speakers for today, Kami Taylor and Pinar Salit from the NASDAQ Entrepreneurial Center.
Thank you, Tash. Hello, everyone. Great to be here. We will be sharing the next hour together. I'm looking forward to it. So over the next 45 minutes, we are going to do something different from a typical webinar. We are not going to be talking at you on landing. This is a session for you. So we are here to help you experience what it feels like to move from capital curiosity to capital readiness using the Capital Compass Toolkit as our guide. In case you did not have a chance or did not have an opportunity to download the toolkit, please go ahead and do so as we are just starting, just warming up, so that you can follow along the exercises and also mark whichever ones you would like to invest some more time after this webinar. Right? Before we get into any frameworks, I want to start somewhere different. I want to start with you. Right? Two questions. Why are you here today? And the second one, if you secured funding today, how would you define success for your business? Why are you here today? And if you secured funding today, how would you define success for your business? Go ahead and put one sentence or two sentences into the chat. We will come back to these answers towards the end, but no, there is no right answer. The reason I'm asking is that capital readiness work is hard to do well unless you are very much clear about what you are funding toward. And lenders want to know that, and you should know it too. So it's better that we exercise that muscle today during this session in preparation for your upcoming conversation with a lender or when you are planning for applying for a capital. All right. Type one sentence into the chat, just one. We'll come back to your answer at the end of the session. All right. Let's take a look at it. Making a difference in computing science education. All right. Maybe do a little bit more specific. Like, how would you define success if you were to get a funding today? If you are working towards that goal, to learn about funding process, okay? Success will be defined by my ability to complete an acquisition, right? Is that why why do you need funding to complete an acquisition? Maybe go a little deeper. Here to learn more, I use the money to create an activation for my skincare brand, all right? Here to excel personally and professionally as a consultant and a financial strategist. Okay, maybe think about what are some of the common questions that you are receiving from your clients and share those with us. All right. To hire staff, acquire equipment, great. Notice what's happening. Notice what is happening. You are naming the destination. The rest of the session is going to be about building the path to it. And capital readiness is not a personality trait. It's really a set of artifacts that you are working toward creating, and then making your case for the capital that you will be seeking for. Those are the documents, those are the narratives, the forecasts that answer the questions lenders are quietly asking, and that move you toward the version of success you are just describing in the chat, right? So by the end of the today, it's our promise to you that you will have started drafting 3 of those artifacts: your fit decision, your business impact statement, and your 2-minute story. You will have a mental model for how lenders are evaluating your application, looking into your business, and you will have a 30, 60, 90-day path forward. Right? Before we go anywhere, I want to give you a mental model that will be outlasting this webinar. So every lender could be CDFI, bank, alternative, micro lender. They're asking 3 questions specifically when they are looking at your application. Just 3. 1, is the business legitimate? The 2, can it repay? And 3, does the request make sense and reduce risk? Okay, most founders prepare like every single detail matters equally. They don't. Every artifact you produce should be in service of one of these 3 questions. If a document that you will be investing your precious time into doesn't answer one of these, it's just a noise. Okay, today we are going to walk through 4 exercises specifically from the Capital Compass, and each one is going to be mapped to one of these 3 questions. So by the end, you will see how the toolkit structure mirrors how lenders are actually evaluating your business your application. Okay. Just maybe a quick pause, and then let's launch a poll and then see where are you today with capital. Are you just exploring? Are you coming into this session with capital curiosity? Are you preparing, planning to apply within the next 6 months? Or are you actively looking into having a conversation with the lender right now? Or are you restarting? Maybe you were declined and want to reapply. Let's see how our session is being attended. Great. Okay, a majority are just exploring capital curiosity. You are preparing 43%. Wonderful. And actively in conversation. Great. Great. Share some of those experiences in the chat. It's going to be incredibly helpful for everyone in this call. All right. Thank you so much for sharing. Whatever bucket you are in is totally fine. That there's no wrong answer, but your bucket determines what the progress will be looking like for you, for your application over the next 90 days. right? Which we will come back to it at the end. So before further delaying, I will be passing the mic to Cami for her to walk us through the first couple of the exercises, and I will be taking over again towards the end. Cami, go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you, Pinar. Hello, everyone. I am excited for us to get started. We are going to jump into our next slide, and it has a very interesting question that you're going to see pop up on the screen. Pinar alluded to this a little bit earlier, but here it is. Is the business legitimate? So you're like, what? What kind of question is that? I am here. I am a business owner. What do you mean, is the business legitimate? So I know that feels like a bold question to begin with. And for many founders, your first instinct is like, yes, of course, I have my articles of corporation. I have my EIN. I have a website. I've got customers. Yes, that all matters. But here's what I want us to understand right now today. When you're sitting across from a lender or a CDFI expert, and they're evaluating your business, it's not just registration. They understand you may have that. It is about clarity. So, can you clearly explain what you're funding, why now, and how capital moves your business forward? And also, how your business stays healthy while you are paying back. So before I go into that, I also like to pause and say, have you heard that question of where you're sitting across from a lender, they're kind of looking at you. Has anyone seen that? And they're like, okay, well, tell me about, your business. Tell me about what you're looking to do. And you're like giving you this look and you're like, am I asking the question, answering the question that they want me, how they want me to ask? So that is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to kind of break that down a little bit in a moment. Please know that the work that we're going to be doing is not about creating a perfect spreadsheet. Numbers are not important specifically. You'll go back and review this. We want to think about the story behind our numbers, how we tell the story of the work that we are doing, so that when we are sitting across from that lender, they are really able to understand our business and the work that we're doing. And they are also be able to answer the question of, can this entrepreneur use this capital strategically? Do they understand how money moves through their business? Can they borrow without destabilizing what is already in place? And again, how are they going to repay pay back these funds? So that is financial readiness. So next slide, please. Again, we want to remove all of our pressure. So please know that we're going to go, well, as I walk through these, use estimates, use placeholders. We are not finalizing any loan packages today. Again, we are just kind of wanted to start the conversation, make sure that our storytelling is tight before we sit in front of our funder. Okay, so here's the deal. Before you even build your budget, there's another question lenders are asking. Does this investment make sense? Does it make sense? And so, in other words, if they fund you, if they put capital into your business, what is going to change? What constraints are going to be removed? What then becomes possible because they've invested in you? And so now let's take a look at these 5 sentences for the whole structure, which we refer to as the business impact statement. Now, this is where your story comes through, where you're showing, yes, yes, invest in me. And this is how we want you to do that. All right. So the first one says, and I want you all to take something down, write it down, or put it in the chat. Matter of fact, put it in the chat because I would love for this to be interactive. I want to be able to see how you're thinking. So the first question is what you do, and who are you serving? So think about that for a moment. If you're across from that lender and they said, what do you do? Not the long version, but what do you do very succinctly? Put it inside of the chat for us. I want to see some. What do you do? And who do you serve? What do you do and who do you serve? All right, y'all. Now I know I hear you thinking, but I want to see it too. What do you do and who do you serve? Hey, well, okay. Courier business for B2B. Okay. HR advisory partner that serves founders, SMB, and independent contractors. I plan Lux weddings and events, and my clients are couples and corporations. Hmm. Okay. Professional development coaching for educators. Okay. Here is our next question. So, what are you funding? What is think about your specific item. Pinar went through this a little bit earlier. What is this item, equipment, activity? What do you need these funds for? Okay, I make it, okay, was who you are. Entrepreneur. Okay. So let's hear some of what you're funding. Platform to teach. Yes, yes, yes. Research and development. Okay. Marketing and branding to reach potential clients. Okay. We help individuals and planning families. We try to provide equipment. Okay. Product revamping. Yes, thank you, Pino. Try to be as specific as possible. So I hear you all saying research development. I hear you saying marketing, but what about that? Like what exactly at the end, think about yourself on the other side of things where you are successful. What is it that you're going to be showing to this lender that when they have put money into your business, that this is the outcomes that they're going to get back? So think about that. All right, next one. Why does this matter? What is this going to solve for you? Think about what you're living in right now with your business. Think about the constraints, the challenge. And by you getting these funds, what is going to be solved? What are you going to solve? Why does this money matter? What using these funds? What do you expect? Think about your pain point. Think of your business pain point. Identification and access to founders. Okay. Okay. Tracy, I like that. So you're now going to be able to afford the materials needing for my product. It is right now, products are expensive. And so you can't afford the materials you need. Yes. Need the money. Yes. All right. So here's number 4, because I don't want to run out of time. Before we get to number 4, I want to pause. This one is how it affects cash, because we're going to break this down a little bit more in a moment. So that is your revenue, your costs, and your cash flow impact. So how this affects cash, because this is where the answers you gave me at the beginning really shows up. So remember what you typed in just now, your definition of success. For sentence 4, this is where the definitions become numbers. If your success looks like a second location, then this is now your projected revenue from that location. So if you say, oh, I need to pay myself a salary, then now the sentence for how it affects my cash is the cash flow is that now it's going to make that math work. So again, it's not that they're funding visions, they are funding cash flow consequences of the vision. What's going to happen? Again, think about that constraint. What is going to happen as a result? Okay. And that's what sentence four captures. Now, we have an example because the last one is also really good, how you'll repay. We'll talk about that in a moment, but let's go to the next slide because I want us to get into this example because y'all are giving great answers. Think about what you've written, and I'm going to read this example of a strong impact statement and compare that to what you shared. So, we are a community catering business serving corporate clients in downtown Phoenix. We are funding $12,000 of commercial mixer and walk-in cooler. This solves the constraint that we're currently turn away 3 to 5 orders per week because of our home kitchen capacity is capped. So here, back to that constraint. Look at this is what they're trying to solve. Right now, they are turning away orders. They have people that are coming in, but they cannot fund these because they don't have the opportunity. They don't have the space and the equipment to be able to serve. With this equipment, we forecast a 40% in monthly revenue increase in monthly revenue based on our existing wait list. Repayment will come from contracted catering revenue. We already have a written agreement with a margin cushion of $2,400 per month above our debt ceiling. Now, would you fund this individual? You're think of it, you're the lender. Would you fund this individual? Yes. 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 Tell me in the chat, what is it that you noticed that really stood out to you of what they said? What was drawing you? What was impactful from that example? They were specific and will get a return on their dollar. Yes. The fact that they took the time to see how it would increase their revenue. Yes. Back to this is how it's going to increase my revenue. So I'm going to end up, better than I currently am. And you get your money back. We'll talk about that more in a minute. Direct and complete the need, purpose, and outcome. Yes, Rose. Demand for product. I didn't have to. Oh, Kenya, I love that. You said I didn't have to question anything. You read it and you were clear, and you just like, I didn't have to question anything else after that. They broke down what they needed and how the money would be used. It solves, Louise, yes, yes, it solves a critical problem. You see, the critical problem was very clear. The constraints. All right. Now, I want you to take that example as you're thinking about yours as we move forward, okay? But before we go there, let's go to the next slide because this is a very important one. Ooh, repayment. So they're gonna give you this money, and it's like a lender doesn't want to hear, oh, I hope I can pay it back. No, they want to hear, I know how I can pay this back. I know, think about that example. What activity within my business supports repayment? I'm asking for this money, but I know where I'm strong. I know my wins, and I know where I can pull money to be able to pay you back this loan, but also be able to sustain my business. So that is two different postures. You're not just asking for something that's like, just give me the money because I'm trying to do, yeah, I'll figure it out. No, you're very clear. That's a very clear strategic decision that you're making. Now, When we're thinking about repayment, it should be tied to something real, something that is predictable. So, for example, it could be recurring clients, signed contracts. You already know per month, the months that very clear, we're not making wishes, but what your recurrent clients look like that you can count on, the signed contracts, if you have subscriptions or memberships, wholesale accounts, all of those things. Oh, if you have seasonal, some of us are seasonal, and you know that, okay, I know I'm going to get this seasonal bump, then this is what it would look like. So again, what part of your business is going to be paying this back? Next slide. Okay. 7 steps. Again, we don't need any numbers, placeholders, but we're going to go through this together. You do not have to put this in the chat, but I'm just going to review this together with us because we're going to be talking about numbers, and I just want you to think about it on your side, but you don't have to share with us for the whole team. But step 1, as we're thinking about our repayment, the first thing that you want to think about is, what is your expected monthly sales? You want to be very conservative, not our wish, our best month, but what is your conservative estimate of your monthly sales? Okay, I'm just going to give you a moment to think about that. Put it on a piece of paper. Put it on a piece of paper. Because we're gonna get real. We're getting kind of real with our funds. And it's okay. We're gonna take a deep breath as we're thinking about this, because I know sometimes we need to do that. All right, number 2. What are your variable costs tied to sales? So this is thinking about your inventory. These are the costs that grow as your sales grow. So let's take that example earlier. If I'm a baker and I know that the more cakes I sell, the more supplies that I'm going to need. I'm going to need more flour, more sugar. So those are the costs that are going to continue to grow: your inventory, your packaging, subcontractors, fulfillment of products that you're selling. If your sales double tomorrow, what needs to also go up? All right. What are those variables? Just jot them down. Just jot them down. Don't overthink it. Just jot down. That's coming up for you. All right. Number 3. What are your fixed costs? Are you paying rent? Or are you paying subscriptions, software, utilities? What is it that is you have to pay regardless if you sell 1 item or 100 items? Or if you have 1 client or 100 clients? What are you paying every single month? All right. Next, got that? All right. Let's think about our payroll and owner pay. Here's my quick plug. We did some research at the center a little bit ago, and we learned that founders who pay themselves early are much more successful. They move much quicker to cash break even. And so my question is always to founders: are you paying yourself in your business? I hope you are. If not, you can start today. But payroll, your pay, owner's pay, think about that. Oh, I plugged it, but I didn't plug the toolkit. The toolkit that I'm referring to is your pay plan. And maybe the team was able to. You can find it on our website at thecenter.nasdaq.org, but it's your pay plan toolkit. I'm assuming by paying themselves, it reduces the likelihood of inputting more of their own capital? Well, it could. I would say when you are paying yourself, you are including yourself as a part of your business. And so, yes, you recognize that your time, your energy, and your resources are a business expense. So, yes, you're not separating yourselves from your business. I think that has something to do with that. And so if you add yourself as a line item, then you think about things differently as you're growing your business. Is there a recommended percent of owner pay for founders? No, I'll tell you this. I encourage you to check out that toolkit because it's going to help you. It will help you to identify a fair pay for yourself. Yep. Thanks. Jillian just posted it in the chat for y'all. Check it out, check it out, check it out. It's really amazing. All right. Where was I? Pay and payroll. I gave you a lot of time as I was talking to get that calculator, get that in. Next, add a loan payment estimate, even if it's possible. So, how much do you think that you could pay, that you would be able to pay per month? Think about that. How much, what is your estimated amount that you'd be able to pay back on this loan? Again, do a placeholder. No real numbers are needed today. Number 6. Let's calculate our ending cash. Now, I want you to think about your low cash month. What is your low cash amount? What's left over? Think about where you often see pressure, dips. Is this back to seasonality? Is there a certain time of the year where you're like, "Ooh, I'm struggling this month. I am struggling. I got to figure out how to pay these, keep these lights on." And this is important. Hey, this is being able to understand both your high and your low. This is helping us to make good, strong decisions. When you're sitting over from that lender, you are very clear. All right. Next. This is our last one, number 7. What is the assumptions that must hold true in order for this forecast to hold? What does that mean? Okay. When you're thinking about this forecast, when you're thinking about everything that you just shared, what are the things that you are assuming? Is it that all of your clients are going to renew each month? That your contracts will close as they always do? Maybe is that the seasonal demand will show up? So what are those areas that you're making an assumption of? Yeah, we said, oh, this is my high, this is my monthly amount, this is how much I get. But what are the assumptions that make that to be true? Because every forecast must, when you think about a forecast, you also are building it on assumptions of what based on your own, either your history or what you believe could happen on market, depending on market conditions. All right, y'all got their 7 steps? Let me know in the chat. Do we have our 7 steps? How are you feeling about your 7 steps? All 7 received. Very nice. Great. Okay. All right. Feeling good. Love it. All right. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Pinar that's going to move us into the next exercise.
All right, loving the energy. I know we have, I think, 2, 3 people joined maybe after the 10 minutes mark. So welcome to those. So keep the energy high, loving the generosity that you are giving and sharing with us today by sharing your pain points, where you would like to go, and how you define success for your businesses. Let's keep going. Let's keep the momentum. So the third underwriter question is whether the request makes sense to reduce the risk. This question is rarely answered by a document. It's answered in the conversation, usually a 5 to 30 minute intake call where the lender forms a first impression of you, right? Okay, so Capital Compass Toolkit calls this the 2-minute business story. It's the exercise number 17. It has 6 parts. Once you have it written, you can compress it to 2 minutes spoken or expand it into your application narrative. It's the same content, only the delivery of it changes, right? So let's take a look at it together. The first one is what we do, your business, your customers. You already worked that through a little bit during the session. Keep it rich, keep working on it a little bit more, invest a little bit more time after this call tomorrow, and just create that narrative. What do you do? Your business, your customers. What's the problem? What customers struggle with? What's the problem that your business is solving? What's the proof? What's the documentable demand for the business, for your products, services? What's your plan? What funding enables for you? Okay, be specific. I know I saw great thoughts, your mission for your company, but really try to be as specific as possible. Think about maybe timelines within the next 12 to 18 months. This is what funding is going to enable for me, for my business to achieve this particular business growth goal, right? If you are hiring, why you would like to hire. If you are going to look for a marketing person, why marketing, why that particular problem is not going to be solved by another act, another strategy that you will be employing. Just try to be as specific as possible. Repayment, cash flow source, and the cushion. What are those for you? And then look at that part 6, the close, the outcome for your business and for your community. This is the second place your opening answer shows up today. How do you define success for your business if you were to secure funding today? The success you define at the start of the session, that is your part 6. That is your part 6. This isn't coincidence. The story arc lenders respond to mirrors the arc you live as a founder. You have a vision of what success looks like for you, for your business. You have the evidence you can get there. And the loan is the bridge between these two. Okay, this is the loan is the tool to build the bridge between these two. And then part 6 closes the loop. So don't bury it. Lenders remember the close. Okay, let's think about the example that Cami shared at the beginning of the conversation. And then let's see like how a 2-minute conversation may actually look like on the phone, right? So let's assume this narrative that the founder constructed for the phone call. We are a community catering business serving corporate clients in downtown Phoenix. Our customers struggle to find reliable, locally sourced catering for events of 25 to 200 people. We have traction shown by 18 repeat corporate accounts and 6-week wait list. With this particular funding, we will be buying a commercial mixer and a walk-in cooler that will be letting us accept the orders we currently turn away. We will be repaying through contracted catering revenue, and our forecast shows that we will be having a 2,400 monthly cushion above the debt service. So the outcome will be steady year-round revenue for the business and 3 new local hires for the community. Right? It's very clear, tied to the initial business statement that the founder constructed. Right? We can share these examples with you after this call, so you can have a chance to take a look at it more closely and then improve how you started constructing during the session. Okay. Notice what the story did though. In about 90 seconds, it answered all 3 underwriter questions. Okay. Legitimacy, real customers, real wait list. Repayment through contracted revenue, specific cushion, risk reduction. It's the equipment that will be solving a constraint that they are currently having and they have demand for. And the close. 3 new local hires connects to a vision of success that any community lender will be leaning towards. Okay. So in the chat, let's take a moment, draft just 2 parts of your story. Okay, just 2 parts. Don't overthink it. What we do and the proof. Don't worry too much about the other 4 that you are seeing at the moment. Those will come from the work you already accomplished during this session and some of the thinking that you will be doing after this session. Okay, 2 things. What do we do and the proof. Just let's take a moment. I'll be watching. What do we do and the proof? Come on. I also would love to see your thinking. All right, all right. It's coming. I can feel it. What do we do and the proof? Your business, your customers, what do we do? And the documentable proof, documentable demand. What do you have as the documentable demand for the proof? Think about the example that we just went through once more. All right, yes, that's one, tax returns, bank statements. But think about the demand. Do you have customers in the pipeline? Can you show that to them? Do you have like an emailing list or subscription list from your customers, or a waiting list? Pre-orders, that could be another good one. What do you do? Your business, your customers, who is your ideal customer, and your documentable demand for the products and services for your business. So you see the link together, right? What does your business do? Who are your ideal customers? And the proof for the demand for your products and or services. Okay. Think a little bit more. Great. Provides coaching, consulting, business education, AI training. The problem we saw is that many business owners have vision but lack system, structure, follow-up, and clear revenue path. The proof is that I already have a business foundation, professional credentials, offers, digital product plans, webinar strategy, and multiple ways to generate income. Right? What do you have in the pipeline that will be showing this to the lender when you are having the conversation with them. Think about this proof of documentable demand being a proof for the lender to see, oh, okay, the risk is manageable, right? Great, keep them coming. Let's look at your readiness today. Which is your single biggest gap? Let's share. Let's be honest. These polls are completely anonymous, so no one will be seeing that. But this will be great point for you to identify where your readiness is today. Okay. How about what are you doing? How are you doing in the documentation? Do you have your bank statements, tax returns, bookkeeping organization? How about cash flow clarity? Can you tell your model by repayment story credibly? Credit, your personal or business credit issues to this. Do you have any of those? How about your compliance? Do you have the licenses, permits, registrations that you need to have? Are they complete? Do you miss any of those? Identify what are those. How about the traction evidence? Do you have the documents to prove your demand for your products and services? How about the lender narrative? Do you think your story is sharp enough? Do you need to work on it a little bit more? Let's identify it. This is going to be the starting point for the next 30, 60, 90. Okay, this is where we are starting planning what we will be doing in the next 30, 60, 90. Okay, great. Cash flow clarity seems like you cannot yet model your repayment story credibly. Okay, that seems to be the majority's pain point at the moment. Some of us having credit, like personal or business credit issues to address. Okay, traction evidence, haven't documented my proof of demand, right? So all of these questions, the toolkit actually walks you through to identify them and then create a list of strategies that you can follow to resolve them. Okay, just creating a little bit of structure and planning for you so that you can stick to that plan and then able to resolve in the next 30, 60, and 90 days. All right. So whatever you just selected, that's where your 30-day plan starts, right? The toolkit will be giving you the full structure in section 11, but the principle is so simple. The goal isn't the perfection. Okay, we are not aiming for perfection. The goal is to become landable faster by addressing the highest impact gap first. What is the highest impact gap for you, for your business, and the success story that you identify at the beginning of this call? Day one, starting from today, in the next 30 days, finalize use of funds. Build your version 1 cash flow and set up a data room. Address your top gap. Identify your top gap and address this top gap in the next 30 days. In the next 60 days, improve your financial accuracy. Add traction evidence. Complete compliances that you have been lacking. No more procrastinating. Let's identify what compliance documents you are missing. Let's fix that. And refine your lender narrative. Put it on a piece of paper. I know all of you have it in your mind. You just need to be extremely clear and to the point, right? Be as specific as possible. I know it's not an easy job. I always tell this to myself as well, but have another person, an accountability partner that will be looking into your narrative so that they will be able to cheer you along the way and also identify maybe what's missing in the narrative. And finally, in the next 90 days, produce your loan ready packet. run a mock lender conversation. It's going to be either within the community. I know many of you are in our NASDAQ Center community already. Find an accountability partner. Look into a mentor, a mentee who will be there for you, listen to you, and provide feedback when you are running this mock conversation, and apply or schedule an intake meeting. Get into their calendars, get into the calendar of the lender and have that conversation. It only gets better as we practice. Okay, if you're not practicing, it's not going to get better. If we don't know what they are asking for or what we are missing for that lender, we will not be able to know that before talking with that lender. All right. Okay. Deep breath. We did a lot of work, great energy today. Thank you so much for coming to this session and doing the difficult work. So I want to bring us back to where we started at the very beginning. I asked you how you would be defining success if you secured funding today. Okay, you type your answers in the chat. I'm very generous. And some of you said things like, success will be defined by my ability to complete an acquisition, acquiring an equipment, hiring a staff member, acquiring a building. That's a very big one. Purchasing inventory to fulfill customer requests, or providing a foundation to complete the full capital stack to close an acquisition transition. If I secure funding, it will make business a little easier in gaining more new construction projects. Wonderful. So wonderful. That answer is not a side note. Okay, that answer is the entire reason any of this work matters. The business impact statement we drafted, its job is to make your definition of success visible to the lender. The cash flow forecast, its job is to show your definition of success is fundable. The 2-minute story, its job is to make a lender care about your definition of success in the first 90 seconds of the conversation. Okay, you came in today with capital curiosity, wanted to explore the options of opportunities, and now you are leaving with 3 drafted artifacts and a working mental model, a clear 30, 60, 90 path, and most importantly, a clear line between what you want for your business and what you need to do to get there. I congratulate all of you for investing that time for your development and for your future, for your business future. And I also thanks to my entire team to support this entire session. All right, keep in touch. Please reach out to us if you have any questions, or we are looking forward to seeing you in the upcoming session as well. All right, take care.
Pinar, Cami, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to the community, share your insights, and set such a great overview of our Capital Compass Toolkit. And to our attendees, we love that you joined us today, and we'd like to have you come to our upcoming webinars. You can view those upcoming events by using the links in the chat. However, I would like to personally invite you, if you have never set a milestone with the NASDAQ Entrepreneurial Center, to our Founders Hours, where you can set a milestone and get prepared for the summer in the upcoming fourth quarter. That is going to be next Tuesday, June 16th at 12 p.m. Pacific time. Thank you all so much for joining us today, and we look forward to welcoming you back online with us soon.